Hello, and welcome back to the Spoilercast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. My name is Tobias, and with me, as always, is my sister and trusty co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello. And today, we are going back in time. Well, sort of. Well, sort of, yeah.
Sort of, yeah, yes.
In more ways than one. And we're going to talk about the revival of one of the forgotten horror franchises of the 2000s. Today we're talking about Final Destination Bloodlines. Ooh. Yes, it's been almost 15 years since the last Final Destination. And 25 years since the first one. This is it's the sixth movie in the trilogy, the franchise.
The franchise.
And it is directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein. Who was it written by?
Guy Busey, Laurie Evans, Taylor, John Watts. I don't know if some of them are like
John Watts.
Characters.
I noticed John Watts' name in the credits, and I just want to see, is that the John Watts who made the Spider-Man? Oh, it is!
He did story, yeah.
Yeah.
He was involved in story. Guy Busey and Laurie Evans Taylor are screenplay.
Yeah, well, that's kind of cool that he, because he's kind of gotten away from the Marvel bullshit after the Spider-Man movies. Because he did like cool movies before. We talked about him last year. He did Clown. Remember Clown?
Oh, yeah.
The demon clown suit?
Yeah.
And then, of course, Cop Car.
Weird
and then
shit.
and then he got snatched up by Disney. But he made a movie last year that we didn't talk about, Wolves. That kind of flopped, unfortunately. But it looked good. But yeah.
Has nothing to do with Bloodlines.
No. I'm just saying, it's cool that he's like a legitimate, filmmaker. I like him.
Sure.
So it's cool to see him in this. But we're going to talk more about the actual movie. Because it stars Tony. Well, it doesn't star Tony Todd. Damn, why is he top billed?
Because he's highest paid, probably.
I don't think so. He's in the movie for one scene. It
stars
Richard Harmon, Raya Kielstedt, Caitlin Santa Joana, Anna Lore, Max Lloyd Jones, and a bunch of other people you don't never have seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and guess what? It's the exact same story as every other Final Destination movie.
Well, yeah.
With some tweaks. There's always a tweak. They always want to add some little new thing, but it's the exact same movie. Someone has a premonition, they stop themselves and some other people from dying, and then death comes for them again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Movie over.
Movie over. Yeah, but like without talking any spoilers, I mean, from the trailers, you know that, someone cheated death back in the 60s, and now it's coming for their relatives, their family, that they've been able to cheat death up until now, which is a bit of a new spin, and that is the new spin on how death punishes you for cheating him. But we'll talk more about that in spoilers. For now, I want to ask you, what did you think of Final Destination Bloodlines?
I thought it was just as fun as the other Final Destination movies. It's fun gore, in kind of, interesting, elaborate deaths and almost deaths sometimes.
Yeah.
The lore doesn't always kind of fully really add up, but I still kind of like it because it's like they're trying and it's kind of fun.
Sure. Yeah.
Like overall, it's a fun horror movie. It's not one of those terrifying horror movies that you can't watch. It's barely a horror movie. I'd call it like, I don't know, thriller splatter movie.
It's almost a splatter movie. It doesn't quite go as gory as a splatter movie does, but almost.
No, but that's close enough.
That's always been a thing in these movies. They are very like. There's lots of like gore when people die. Like
it is tagged as a splatter horror.
Okay, sure.
I would actually call it that more than like a pure horror film, because it's not scary.
No. Now that's something.
None of them. I mean, some of the older ones have moments that is a little bit scary where you kind of feel tense. But this one didn't really have that.
No.
It's a bit tamer. It's a bit lighter, I suppose.
Well, I thought it was the other way around.
Well, in mood, I meant, for me at least.
I thought it was the other way around.
Okay, cool. But yeah, overall, it's like it's an average horror film. More funny than scary.
Yeah.
But what did you think?
I mean, it's the very definition of dumb fun.
Yes.
Obviously it is art because it's something that someone has made, but it's not art. Like, this is
it's the lowest form of art.
This is low tier, entertainment. But I mean, I laughed throughout the movie. I think I had the six laughs that you need for a 90-minute movie. This is slightly.
I even laughed. Yeah. And I don't laugh at movies.
Like you said, I thought this was a little too somber at times, and I was worried that they were like trying to make it more serious. Like, we're going back to the original, because the original is not very funny. I mean, it is unintentionally funny.
But that one is just horrible, really, as in for the people in it, not horrible as in bad. Yeah,
I mean, they really leaned into the more gratuitous nature of the whole concept in the sequels. The first one was trying to be a serious movie for the most part.
Yeah.
And I was worried for a while that this was going to be the same, because I was like, "This is what are you doing with bringing up like trauma and broken families, and it's all dark?" And I was like, "No." And then I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." So it was very up and down for me. Sometimes it's like laugh out loud hilarious. Yeah. And they had like comic relief characters. And then it was just like, oh, this is super serious. This isn't fun. And that, I mean, I don't mind serious movies, but it doesn't work when you were just laughing at someone dying in a horrific way.
No.
That's the problem. So
it's that like, I laughed at them dying all. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Whoops.
And then, I mean, no, there are some good kill scenes, but I don't think this one has any of my favorite. By the way, we're going to rank.
It had the most tense one for me, really? But it was just because it dragged out for too fucking long.
Which one? Don't spoil. Just say the thing was
at the hospital.
Oh God, so fucking dumb.
It took way too long, so I just got like antsy and annoyed almost.
Oh yeah, I thought that was they just.
You told me to shut up at one point because I couldn't shut up.
Yeah, because you were like, you were trying to talk to me constantly. It was just shut up.
It just built up for so long that I got like annoyed and had to like say things.
I'm fine with us like giving little comments, but you were like full on speaking with me throughout that scene. I was like, shut up, shut up.
Fucking long.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
Yes, in the members episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do a ranking of all the kills.
Yes, of all of them.
All the movies. Yeah. So check out patreon.com/don'tmakeascene, or if you're on YouTube, click the members button and you can experience the members only exclusive episodes. But you won't get that until Monday if you're watching this on Saturday the 15th when we're the 17th, sorry.
Yeah.
We're recording it on the 15th, but that's a Thursday.
Yeah, it's like, wait.
Anyway,
what day is it?
No, so overall I liked it. It might be my favorite. I recently,
out of all the movies?
Yeah, I recently rewatched it, and the way I've scored them, this and Final Destination 5 have the highest score.
Oh, I haven't scored them at all. I might do a little tiny list for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure though, because I think the one with the best. Oh, we're not going to talk about that too much.
We'll do that on the members episode as well.
Yeah. What I will say is that it definitely, by the end, I got the feeling like this was a proper Final Destination movie.
Sure.
Like, they did all the things you had to. It didn't feel like they were just, it didn't feel like a cash grab. It felt like they actually wanted to make, I mean, obviously it is a cash grab, but, it felt like they actually wanted to make a good Final Destination movie.
There was some thought in like the actual script. They had some plans, they had some ideas. Yeah. It wasn't just, how can we string together these random gory kills? No, they put some, a little bit of effort in it.
Yeah.
in the planning and prosecution of it.
And the worst part about it is the same that it's in all of them, that it's so dumb. There's no real logic to the whole thing.
Yeah, no.
And one thing that stuck out in this, it sticks out in the fourth and the fifth as well, but more in this almost, because we're so used to it now. The CGI is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Not bad, but it looked plasticky.
Yeah.
It didn't feel very
compared
real.
to other movies we've seen that managed to do good CGI for splatter and gore in general and other stuff. These movies, all of them, but it's more noticeable now because it's a newer one.
Yeah.
They're always
bad
little kind of bad, you know?
That's why I appreciate they do so much physical gore.
Yeah.
Like, most of the gore in the movies is, like, real, like, squibs and, you know, puppets and stuff. So that's nice. But when you see the CGI, yeah, it sticks out.
Yes.
Well...
It is hard to talk about this movie, though, without spoiling it.
Yeah, because the thing you want to talk about is all the kills and the plot twists.
And the plot twist, yes. So even though we're very... well, you know what? We can talk about one more thing. We can talk about performances. We have to mention Tony Todd.
Sure.
Because I realized that he passed away, like,
pretty
end
recently.
of last year.
Yeah.
November last year.
That's weird, because I feel like I see him tweet sometimes. That's scary.
Ooh, I hope not. Or it's got to be a family member who's taken over and just not told anyone, or at least maybe you missed that tweet.
Yeah, it might have been an old tweet showed up or something.
He does have one more movie. Actually, he has a bunch of things coming up.
Yeah, well, he was one of those guys, you know. He was a working actor, so he did a bunch of stuff, you know, smaller roles, and it takes a while for the movies to actually get edited and released, so... Yeah. It's the same thing that Lance Reddick appeared just after he died. He was in John Wick 4. And everyone's like, and it's kind of weird because he dies in that movie. It's like, oh,
that's a bit insensitive.
and then the fact that he is still gonna be in Ballerina.
Yeah,
because his scenes were shot for that movie already.
Which is kind of weird, but yeah, no, I get it.
He's been dead for years at this point, or when that comes around. Anyway. Yeah, but yeah, it was nice to see him back, because they kind of, like, forgot about him, it felt like, in the last two movies. Or in the last... He was in the first and second one. I don't think he was in the third one, or the fourth, or the fifth, I don't think. At least not by name.
Quick little scan here through his IMDb. I just have to scroll down a bit.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff. Because he was... It was never like... It was never, you know, specifically, explicitly said who he was. And then he had a name that they don't mention his name until this movie. But if you watch the movies with subtitles, they always subtitle and it says the names of everyone. It says Bloodworth.
He was in Final Destination 5.
Oh, he was. Oh, yeah. I guess he was.
And he's credited as
Bloodworth.
Bloodworth.
Yeah. But he's not in. Then he's not in 4 and 3.
Wait, I'm scrolling. Like I said, he's in a lot of things.
I'm looking at. He's not in those. No.
So
it's nice to see him back.
Right. So he's in first, second, and fifth.
Yeah,
and sixth. No.
For me, since they never really explained who his character was until this one.
Yeah,
we won't spoil it. But he finally has a real, like, reason for being there. I always imagined him as, like, being, you know, maybe he's death, or he's some sort of, like, he has connection. He's not a real person because he just shows up. Nobody ever,
he just happens to be everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we can spoil that much. He isn't death. If anyone else had that theory, he isn't.
No, yeah, he's a real boy.
He's just a human.
Yeah. And he was good. Nothing spectacular though. And I mean,
he didn't have a lot to do, so I mean, he can't be spectacular in that little.
And I'll say that for everyone, like, they were fine. No, specifically good.
No.
I liked the, like, the odd brother, the odd one out, so to speak, without spoiling anything.
Yeah, Richard Harmon.
Yeah.
He's the only one I could like say that I've seen in other things.
That was the thing. I was like, I recognize him, and then I looked through his IMDb, and I was like, yeah, I've seen him in a bunch of stuff, but I don't recognize him from any of those things. It was something else, but I don't know. Whatever. Because he was the one, he was kind of irreverent. He was kind of the comic sidekick.
Yeah.
But his shtick got old.
It got a little bit old.
It was the same joke over and over again, but it was still fun. Everyone else is they're just generic fucking people. Just like every character in these movies.
Exactly.
They're little more than cannon fodder, all of the characters. Even the main characters, they die in most of the movies anyway,
Exactly. I have to say, I really didn't like the main character, though.
Stephanie.
Yeah, I had an issue with her. I don't know what.
Caitlin Santa Joanna. Yeah, I've never seen her before.
No, I haven't seen her either. I just didn't, I don't know, her style didn't vibe with me, I guess. Or something.
Know. Like I said, I honestly didn't really pay attention to that stuff, because in these movies, I don't care.
No, not really.
The only ones that I think are like, oh, it's cool. They did a good job, and like that's in hindsight, because the first time I saw Final Destination wasn't when it was new, because I was way too young. I saw it some years later, and then I knew who Devon Sawa was. So I was like, oh yeah. I like Devon Sawa. Yeah, it's cool that he's in the movie. And then of course I didn't watch Final Destination 3 until a couple of maybe like 4 or 5 years ago for the first time. I never watched the franchise at all. I just like, I'm gonna watch the franchise, and then I saw Mary Elizabeth Winstead in number 3, and I was like,
yes,
yeah, she gives a solid performance, but that's just because I'm a fan of her from other things. But honestly, though, she's too good for Final Destination, especially Final Destination 3. Even though I like that movie, but this one though, no one really stuck out. No one has much to do really, other than go, oh my god, and then they die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with these movies. They don't really have a lot to do. They just react to people dying or themselves dying. Really.
Yeah. And that's the whole point. So I'm not faulting anyone for not giving an Oscar-worthy performance, or for not giving the characters more to do or whatever. Like, I don't care. I just want to watch them die, as horrible as that sounds.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we should talk a little bit more spoiler stuff here. Talk about some of the death scenes and the twists.
Are we ready?
We are. And hey, we almost made it to 20 minutes like we usually try to.
Perfect.
So, yeah, if you don't want any spoilers about any of the death scenes or the story twists, turn it off here. Go watch the movie, because I think we both still recommend
definitely.
it. Even if you're not a fan.
Honestly, you don't really have to have seen any of the other movies for this one to make any kind of sense.
And that's one of the good things with these, like, because every movie could basically be the first one, and they have more backstory. But even most of the movies don't even care about the backstory other than the first movie.
Yeah.
So you can
go watch it.
You can definitely watch this.
Enjoy it in theaters, because you can.
Yeah, definitely.
We saw it in IMAX. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, and it's even like formatted for IMAX, so a lot of the death scenes were in full frame instead of 16:9, which was cool. Yeah, it was unnecessary, but it was cool that they did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. So now you have been warned. From here on out, it's gonna be spoilers. You have been warned. Now,
so
when everyone dies, yeah. Literally everyone dies in this movie. No, not everyone, but everyone who's supposed to die.
Everyone, yeah, exactly. Everyone
and even some who shouldn't die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duh.
So,
we need to discuss the whole Bloodlines thing.
Sure, because that's the big twist.
Yeah.
That in 1968 or whatever it was,
something like that.
I
didn't remember the year.
Yeah. Iris, a young lady, and her husband to be, or boyfriend at the time.
At the moment, yes.
Whatever his name was.
Paul.
Paul, right?
Paul.
They are they are in 1968. They are attending the
grand opening,
right, of a new restaurant. It's called the Sky View, which is kind of looks like the Space Needle in what is it, Portland or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
I was like, where are we?
It's a fake.
Is it that one?
Fake place. No. Yeah. But it basically looks like the Space Needle.
Yes. Same concept. Same thing.
So they go up 150 meters in the air to a big, glass covered restaurant. And guess what? Little things here and there just start going wrong, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. Things fall down, people are set on fire, I think someone is trampled.
Yep.
And then, of course,
there are explosions and
people are impaled and smashed.
And split.
Oh my god, yes, the guy in the elevator.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Crushed by pianos.
And everyone dies a horrific death. They even kill a little child, which is horrible.
We didn't really get to see it,
We don't really see it, but,
but
we know
it's
he
implied.
dies. Yeah.
It's impaled.
And then goes, oh, it was just a dream, like in every other movie.
Yeah.
However, it wasn't Iris having the premonition. It was her granddaughter. I was like, what?
Yeah. Turns out that it was a dream?
No, it did happen.
Yeah, but she dreamed. Stephanie is just dreaming it. She doesn't know it happened.
Yeah. So it's not it's been a long time ago, so it can't be. It's not a premonition. Yeah, but it's a premonition kind of scene that we have seen in the other movies. But yeah, she's having this as a dream. So she tries to find her grandma Iris, but she is kind of she's never spoken to her because she's been kind of self exiled from the family for some strange reason.
At least.
So she goes to talk. She's very close to the rest of her family, her cousins, and so her mom's brother. Her mom is also absent.
Yes.
For some strange reason. But yeah, so there's a bunch of family drama there. It's just whatever. But it makes sense.
The family drama is a little bit necessary until it makes sense eventually. But in the beginning, it's just like, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, that's what drags the movie out. This movie is the longest one at almost an hour and 50. Ooh.
Yeah.
Without credits. Hour and 50 with credits.
Yeah.
But eventually, she finds Grandma Iris's address, and she goes there, and it's this giant, fucking fortified cabin out in nowhere.
Literally nowhere.
And she goes there, and she talks to her. And it turns out that she cheated death that day. She managed to, get it. She actually stopped the whole thing from falling.
She is Iris, obviously.
Yeah, I thought that was obvious.
Well,
because we said that.
Who knows?
What?
You didn't say it, and I don't think everyone will understand that it's obvious unless you actually watch the movie.
Okay, whatever. Yes, I said it was her grandmother. Whatever.
She goes there and she tells her about how she saved everyone.
Yeah, so
how she
no one died.
The tiny things. Yeah.
The sky view never fell. Like in every other movie, the accident always happens, and some people die, but a lot of people die, but some survive. Here, everyone survived.
Part of the accident still happened, but no one died. Yeah, the floor still broke.
Did it break completely, or did it just shatter? I mean...
No, it broke in one part at least, but it didn't break all of it, and people stepped off, so they were fine.
Okay, whatever. When I edit these, it's like I'm listening to them and watching them, and I get so frustrated sometimes because you interrupt when I'm trying to make a point, and whatever. And I can see the listeners going like, shut up! Sorry. Anyway,
I can see the listeners going, what the fuck is he on about? Because you skipped
You're doing it again!
I know, but...
Can I just finish what I was talking about?
Yeah, go for it.
She has been able to cheat death for like 50 years, 60 years almost.
Yeah.
But she has kept a tally on everyone who survived that night, and realized that they did one by one die off. And they later find out, because she dies, of course. As soon as she lets her guard down, she dies. And she kind of lets death get to her.
Yeah.
So to kind of prove that she isn't crazy to Stephanie, the main character. And she gives her book where she has all the research. So Stephanie looks through it and realizes there's a timeline in there with all the people who were at the Skyview, who survived, and because it takes some time for death to get to you after you survive, there were so many people there, like hundreds of people there. So a lot of them had like long lives before death killed them off in a weird way. So some of them managed to, have families and grandkids even. So instead of just killing the people who were there, now death has to kill all the people that were never supposed to be born even.
Yeah.
Are you in a mood now?
No, I'm waiting so I can speak.
Okay.
I'm trying not to interrupt. I feel like you're missing details.
Am I? Okay. So, since death has to kill them in order, he also has to kill all the people in your family after that. That's why it's, that's a big a plot hole. Because, Iris wouldn't have to worry until, like, pretty recently, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the whole thing. Now they know that since when Iris dies, it's now their time, because now, they're in her bloodline. So now they have to save themselves. And that's
yes.
And that happens about an hour into the movie. They figure that out. It's like, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Well,
anyway,
the
what did I
opening scene
miss?
is very long. No, it's fine. It's fine. The opening scene is very long, to be honest. It's like 25 minutes or something.
I felt
I didn't time it, but it felt like it was like half an hour.
I time movies sometimes because it's fun to see, where an act changes and stuff. It isn't actually that. It's like 19 minutes. 20 minutes long. However, every other movie usually gets... it takes about 20 minutes for the first, accident to happen. But in some of them, we actually have some stuff before them where we establish the characters. Here they go right into the accident. They don't really establish the character. And they have to do that afterward, since the accident had nothing to do with the main character anyway. So that's also why the movie drags on, I think.
Yeah, a little bit, because we get it in reverse a little bit in the beginning there. Yeah. That's why it's called Bloodlines,
Yeah. Because now death has to kill everyone who wasn't supposed to be born.
You said it was a plot hole, but I'm like, are we sure it's a plot hole? Because I keep getting confused if they actually follow the order. Sometimes I feel like it didn't. Or, if someone was saved, it skips that person in the other movies, right?
Yeah.
So she can't really know if someone saved someone and who skipped who and all that stuff. So I guess it's a precautionary thing.
Sure. But it's still...
But it also means that they can't... Well, no, that's true. If she dies, they know that they are next, obviously, because then no one was skipped for them.
Yeah.
It's a long thing. You asked me, do you think everyone in the other movies then have some sort of connection to these people? I guess.
Yeah, that would make it really cool, because they do a cool connection in the fifth one, where it turns out that it's actually a prequel, and they are on the plane in the end, which is the beginning of the first one. So I thought this one, then, it's a perfect opportunity to, like, maybe that's why all these other people had premonitions, because they were somehow connected to this technically first premonitions so in the Final Destination timeline so far.
Yeah.
But they never mention that. They show, like in every of their movies, we see she has written down like Flight 180 and, killed by, wooden logs on a freeway or whatever. Yeah. So we see some of that, but that's the only like Easter egg connection to the other movies, really.
I kind of like that they didn't go into details and mention like last names or something.
They mentioned Clear Rivers, but that's because she survived the first movie.
Yeah, but that's because they're talking about her specifically, not her being part of the bloodline.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, not everyone needs to be part of the bloodline, I suppose. Because it only has to be the ones that changes the fate that needs to be part of it, because then the other ones were just casualties involved in that death that should have happened. And then they were just dragged into it. You understand what I mean?
No, I don't understand. What casualties of what death?
If you take the first movie, for example.
Yeah.
Main guy, I forgot his name.
Devon Sawa, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. He is probably involved in the Bloodlines. But everyone else that went off the plane with him doesn't have to be, do they? Because he's the only one who like, technically, I guess, has to die. But then he fucks it up by bringing a bunch of other people.
No, because there's never been, except for this one. And this is where the like there's inconsistencies in logic, because I mean, if we only base it on the only people who have ever died or have ever cheated death are the ones in these movies. It has never happened before the Skyview accident, and after that, it's only been the other 5 movies.
Yeah.
Just to keep it simple.
Yes.
Then, where was I going with that? We don't know we don't know what the logic is.
No, that's true.
Because also, like, who gives them the premonition? Sometimes it feels like death is giving them the warning.
Yes.
Because it's like very, I don't know.
Yeah, it was one of them, the one with the paper company, where, like, characters actually react to, like, a shadow crossing over them, and then...
Yeah, well, that's been in other movies as well.
Yeah, but that was
there's a lot of that in the first movie, and then they kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
So
does definitely give warning, but
which is weird, because
yes,
yeah, and it's, I mean, if you really want to nitpick, why couldn't death just give you a heart attack instead of this elaborate kill scenes? Because it's fun, of course, but it doesn't. I mean, it follows the movie logic, if you will. But if you try to explain it in a sort of real way, like, no, it makes no sense.
But we do know that death takes casualties that weren't involved, because Eric wasn't supposedly involved in the Bloodlines at all.
Yeah, which was one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
Yes.
when we find out why he seems to evade death all the time. Because it turns out his mom had an affair with another guy, and he's not actually his father's son, so to speak.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Right after he tattoos dad on his arm and gets branded with a heart.
Yeah. That's the guy from the trailer you see when he gets the chain stuck to his nose ring, his septum piercing. Yeah. Turns out he was not his father's son. He was some other guy's son.
I wonder if the dad knew.
I don't think so.
Blissfully unaware.
No, I don't think so. Because it came like such a shock
to
the kids. I don't think she told her husband. Yeah, very funny though. In a terrible way, but very funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But they explain that away by saying, like, when it takes this long, death gets messy. It's like, what?
All right.
Because that's never been a thing in any of the other movie that some other person dies so that death can get to these people.
They have I don't remember in which one now, but they mentioned something similar, which is why some people, I think it's the one with that ends at the hospital with the but the field, when they crash into the field and all that stuff. Because we have a couple of people dying there as well that aren't involved at first. There's someone who gets a kid gets blown up in the end.
Yeah, but no, that's because the drug guy saved him from dying. He was almost run over by the news truck or some truck that was there, and he's like, "Watch out, kid! You almost died."
Didn't someone die in that field though? That wasn't part of the group?
No. Only the business bitch and the drug guy dies in that field.
Oh yeah, I guess. See, there's a bunch of deaths though, so I'm starting to confuse them all, because I've watched all of the movies now in like 4 days.
Yeah, me too.
That's the issue. They're starting to blend together a little bit.
Yeah. No, that was never a thing in the other ones, that there's like collateral damage, so to speak. Like, everyone who dies are supposed to die. That's always the thing.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, or that's what they say. We don't know, because death never confirms it. But we have to accept that logic, since it's the only logic that exists.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone has to die eventually.
Yes, and that's
even if you're not part of the Bloodlines, you do have to die eventually.
And that's the next thing, because they do solve like how you survive death, so to speak.
Yeah.
In the second movie. If you technically die, your heart stops, and you are resuscitated. You break the line or the circle or whatever they call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it starts over. So that's just like, hey, you got me. And that's like, first of all,
isn't that cheating death though?
Yes, exactly. And that's kind of funny because it ruins the tagline from the first movie, which was "You can't cheat death twice." Yeah. Like, aha, yeah, exactly. And then they also kind of introduce the whole thing that if you kill someone, you get their life, which is more of a risky
years, basically.
Yeah, which is a bit of a risky, solution, because you could kill someone who was supposed to die the next day. You never know.
Yes, which is something to do.
They do make a funny joke about it in this one, though, where they are, just for a second, contemplating killing a newborn baby. And it's like, no, we do not touch the babies. Do not touch the babies, yeah. But, like, I don't understand why that was never brought up in because they realized that in the second movie. That was never brought up in the third or fourth or fifth movie, that, if we just die and come back, it's fine. Because it was like they ruined the franchise for themselves. and also then, like, okay, so say you're safe now. Are you gonna live forever? Because you're just gonna die anyway. I don't know.
But at least I'm assuming it like protects you from dying in a horrible accident, and you will die old by age or whatever. Because basically no one who was supposed to die has died by age. It's either disease or accident.
Well, nobody dies of age. That's like, technically you don't die of all. I mean, you die because, you have like heart failure because eventually your heart gives up because it's too old, I suppose.
Like horrible diseases like cancers and shit.
Yeah.
Like more extreme than, the average death. Which sounds weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean. You don't die by getting a propeller stuck in your head or whatever. Yeah. You die at like 80 when you're supposed to, surrounded by
nothing. When your heart is too tired to pump the blood anymore and you die in your sleep peacefully. That kind of thing.
But
I'm assuming that's the kind of you get to live the rest of your life as you are supposed to.
But that's not true, because you are supposed to die.
Yeah, I know.
Because they paint death as some sort of bad guy, and I'm like, sorry, he's just the. I want to say
they say he.
Yeah, I almost wrote a like snarky comment because I thought it was going to be funny, but then I thought, why should I? On one person's review. Let's see if I can
on Letterboxd.
Yeah, here it's one of the more popular ones. The review is. It's always, let's escape death, but never, how is death? Is death having fun? Is she fulfilled creatively? And it got like 1,800 likes. And I thought, I'm going to leave a snarky but funny comment saying, hey, don't misgender death. They do specifically say it's a he in this movie. But then I was just like, first of all, no one's going to read it. And if they do, they're just going to like say I'm a dumb idiot for... It wasn't funny. But yeah, they do actually say he. So they do gender death. They do. And I think they do it in another movie as well, so... Not that it matters.
Someone did make that comment, but
shit.
They wrote it within, and then they wrote within parentheses. No, I'm just kidding. Lol, I'm silly.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
They didn't dare actually.
It's no fun when you have to explain that you're joking.
Someone did write in "death is a woman." IKTR. I don't know what that stands for.
I have no idea. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
They used he in the movie for death.
Yes.
Someone made that comment. So yeah.
Yeah, but death is just a force of nature. It's not evil. But no. They paint it out as being evil because, it kills you in a horrible way. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's death. All death is horrible, technically.
Yeah, exactly.
This is just a little bit extra gruesome.
I mean, people are still gonna be sad if you die. Like if you die at 95, people are still gonna be like, oh, even though you kind of go like, but it was time, But it's still sad. Yeah. So there are no good deaths, so to speak.
No, I have a visitor.
Yeah, which is a big problem with this. And then if you which this movie kind of proved, yeah, you can escape death, and you can if you're really good at seeing all the signs. You can live a long life, but what kind of life did she live? Stuck in that cabin, away from her family. One. Yeah. Was that really a life worth living?
No.
And I mean, they even hint at that in the first and second movie. The first movie, when Devon Sawa shuts himself in Claire's daddy's cabin.
Yeah.
And he just sits there. He taped all the corners. He's eating like disgusting canned cat food or whatever it looks like.
Yeah.
It looks like it's like just go, just accept that you're gonna die and have fun instead. Honestly, which the other guy, the jock in that movie, says like, so if I know I won't die until this happens, I'm just gonna live my life. That's when he lets go of the steering wheel and just hits the gas.
Exactly.
Yeah. That would be, I mean, it wouldn't be a fun horror movie, but that would be awesome. Was someone's like realizes like, oh my god, I escaped death. And they even say in some of the movies, I'm going to live my life to the fullest. And then you see them like having fun, they go on vacation.
They do have that kind of in mind in this movie. When after Iris dies, they're like, well, we do know one way to keep you two safe for a while. And they plan on putting mom, Darlene, in that cabin to if she shuts herself in and she stays alive for as long as she can, we can live at least, I don't know how old she is, but maybe give or take 30, 40 years.
She's like 50 or something, yeah. Yeah, and she kind of already wasted the last 10 years of her life, so.
Yeah.
Because
why not?
She got crazy like her mom.
Yeah. Paranoid is the right word. Crazy is a bit mean.
Wow.
But yeah. So, I mean, they do try that. However, Death is kind of pissed at this time, I suppose, so it doesn't really work.
Yeah. It is a problem with a franchise like this. Like, the first movie works because we don't know anything about it other than he figures out that, everyone has been dying in the order they died in my dream or my premonition. So at least we know who's next and I can try to stop it. At that point, you're like, yeah, of course you're going to stop it. But as the longer the franchise goes on, because it is a little bit like, you're going to stop it or you're not going to die. But whatever, we'll keep watching. But the more movies you make, especially when they are so similar and each movie is about, if I can figure out the order, I can stop it from happening. It's like, the more those little, what? Or the plot hole, so to speak, starts like a little pinprick, and then it just grows and grows and grows. And by this point, it's just like, nothing makes sense anymore. I don't really care, but it's also like, come on.
Which is why I think they added in the line that, when you cheat death goes
it gets
crazy.
Messy. Yeah, but
that's messy.
That's such a bullshit excuse. What do you mean?
I know, but
it's messy. Okay.
You cheat death. You've tried to cheat death so many times now that, fuck it. We're just gonna kill you. Who cares anymore?
Yeah, I guess.
Or something. It's a dumbass excuse, but, whatever. At the same time, these are dumbass movies.
Yes.
Do we really care?
Yeah.
I thought it was fun that they added the whole Bloodlines element.
Sure.
I mean, it opens up for a bunch of, standalone kind of sequels if they want to
they would all just
mention
be the
another
same,
bloodline.
though. Yeah, but
it would always be the same. But
then they would have to really, because like we said, every movie is the same plot with some little twist. What they really should do is then to fucking maximize the violence and gore. Just have 20 deaths.
Yeah,
20 death scenes.
Separate death scenes, yes, exactly. Not 20 people dying, because that's boring.
Yeah, because honestly, it felt like there wasn't really that many fun death scenes in this one. You have the opening where everyone dies. That was cool.
Yeah.
And we're saying cool and all that because, it's a movie.
Yes, we're not.
And it's what the movie is about. I'm sorry.
We're not that horrible.
No.
We don't like watching people die. It's just fun in movies.
Yeah. And then you have, after that, there's nothing until Iris dies.
Which is not that fun.
She gets the wind, whatever it's called, the wind flail, whatever it's called. Shot through her head.
Yeah.
And then there's the fake out with the fire in the tattoo parlor. Which, when that
first dad dies.
Oh, Uncle first dad dies. And that one is such a long setup, and then it almost feels like none of the setup was needed. He could have just, slipped and the same thing would have happened, or, I don't know.
Yeah.
He gets his face ripped off by a lawnmower. It was cool, though, because he's like, ah! And you saw it go, and he's spraying blood everywhere.
I think that's the thing this movie did more than any of the other ones. It had more no, that's not true. Not all of them, but some of them had less of this. But this one really had it for all of the fucking deaths. Build up to opportunity before we actually get to the fucking death.
Yeah.
So we have the glass shard. We have the trampoline thing.
We have the barbecue.
We have the barbecue.
Yeah. And then it's a lawnmower. So okay, which we hadn't even seen.
And it's in the middle of all this, it's a throwaway clip of Eric putting down his beer bottle on the side of the grill.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that fucking triggers everything eventually.
Yeah.
The most harmless of all the things we've seen details of.
Yeah.
Throughout this long ass clip. Not clip, but scene.
Yeah. And then, but after that, then it's a fake out fire, which at first I thought oh shit, he died. And they cut to an outside, establishment shot of the tattoo place, and we just hear him scream. I was like, oh, come on, you're not even going to show us now? What the fuck? Turns out he survived, though, because he wasn't supposed to die.
Which is why they didn't show it.
I know. But at first, it was like, oh, no, really? The movie always lost me there until they explained it. I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But then it's...
and it's the sister.
The sister. But cousin...
There are cousins, that's the thing. But yeah, she's the sister.
There's three cousins, so she is the sister cousin.
Yeah.
Or cousin sister, whatever.
Whatever.
Which was a nice one, even though it was... We didn't really get to see the build-up. They explained what was going to happen, but then we didn't see it. We heard it, and then she fell into the garbage can and got crushed by
No, you do see it in the background.
You don't see all of it. You hear the sickle fall, and he goes, "Ugh!" And
you see the sickle fall. You hear the and then the football hits her in the head, and she falls in the trash can.
They don't show it.
No, but
as in other movies.
Yeah, they don't do the so zoomed in detailed shots. No.
Yeah. Then,
which I thought was a little bit refreshing, though.
Yeah, sure.
Because that wasn't how she actually died. How she actually dies is in the garbage truck.
Yeah, but that was the whole.
That's when we get to see.
But that was the whole. That's every death in these movies. There's a bunch of stuff that gets them to the place where they die.
I thought it was nice that they did a bit differently. It was fun.
It was a nice fake out that because we thought he was gonna die still, and then in the background she gets thrown into death. There's like, oh, okay. Then it's the hospital where both the brothers die. Because it gets messy, so Death just kills him. I guess it was his time, or was Death just being vengeful?
I don't know.
Bullshit is what it is. But anyway,
yes,
he dies by being sucked into to an MRI machine.
That's the name, yeah.
Because they hit the research power level, which means it starts magnetizing everything even outside the room, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's not how it works. Like, again, it's a movie, but what?
Yeah,
what would you even do with a magnet that strong? I mean, it's funny that all his piercings start plopping off, especially his what's it called, Prince whatever it's called, Prince Albert, right? It's like, oh no, his pants are fluttering, like, oh no. And then he gets crushed by the wheelchair.
Crushed and impaled.
Yeah.
And, bent in the wrong direction, really.
And then his brother gets, which is set up, the spring from the vending machine gets shot through the window and into his head. It's like,
and just keeps twisting.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not sure that's how it works, but sure.
Yeah, I don't know. So that is opening scene, dad, sister,
Brothers.
hospital, yeah. And then it's they all go to the cabin to lock the mom up there, so to speak.
Yes.
And we have a bunch of fake out deaths. And then, mom gets crushed. Once again, it's very... That's where they kind of went the, like, darkly comedic route. Because it was very, like, go on, save your sister, she tells her brother. Or her son. So, I'll keep you set. And then she gets fucking crushed by a lamppost. It's like, oh my... Right in front of his face. It's like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, he brings her back to life because she drowns. Yeah. And then it's the end where he's going to prom, and they're all happy and family again, and so she drives him to pick up his date, and she's dressed just like Iris in a very retro 60s inspired dress. Like, whoa, what?
A car passes by that reminds her of that thing in her dream.
And you hear
There's
the
something
song.
else, like a song, right? Yeah, it's a song.
The shout song, yeah.
Yes.
And then the brother's prom date's father is a doctor. And he's like, oh, we just love whatever his name is, brother guy.
Charlie?
Yeah. And he's quite the lifesaver. It's like, yeah, he brought me back from death. And the dad's just like, well, technically, your heart never stopped, but he did he stopped you from dying. She's like, I never died? And then the train derails. There's a whole thing with the coin, but we're gonna have to explain everything. We don't have the time. A train derails. They run away from the train as it's chasing them, and they're like, "Oh my god, that was so close!" And then another. I don't know if it's another train or just another cart.
Something.
Comes, and off of the cart flies two giant wooden logs and crushes both of them immediately, which was very funny.
Because it was a callback to the second movie?
Yeah.
And also to the fact that they had a little fake out with one of those trucks with the mom as they were leaving the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
I have one question, though.
Yeah?
That always kind of bothers me with these movies. Because we have these kind of like, oh, we're fine. We've broken the circle moments. And then they live happily until someone tells them, like, yeah, but that thing happened, or you never really beat it, and that's when they die. It's like, so if no one tells them that they failed, will they just live forever?
No, that's because it's a movie to make it. It's called a fake out.
But come on.
It's to give the audience a false sense of security. That's classic screenwriting.
Because they make it seem like, specifically in this one, it's like literally people die the day after the last one.
Yeah.
And here it seems like they've been going for a few days now before anything happened to them. Like, oh, so they're fine, obviously.
Yeah, because it's...
Yeah, I know, but
it's a fake out.
Yeah. Couldn't they have added days between the other ones as well then to make it more believable or something?
It depends on how... It depends on the pace. That's all movie stuff. And that's where, like Gen Z or even Gen Alpha morons will go like, oh, but the lore! Like, no. It's called screenwriting. You have to pace your movie properly so people don't bring up their phones. It has nothing to do with the lore or the world building. It's all just screenwriting stuff. It's pacing. It's act structure. Sorry, that's what it is.
I know.
And it's also a fun thing that like we know that they're not safe.
Actually, I kind of thought they would be safe. I was like, oh shit!
Yeah, but then the fake out worked. Yeah. And that, I mean, that's the point, because when the guy goes, well, you're just, oh, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. That's all there's. But that's why. I'm not saying this couldn't be a franchise or that. Oh, they should have only made one movie, like with Halloween. Because Halloween should never been a franchise. Alien should never been a franchise because there's only so much you can do. Here, the first one isn't good enough, so like, oh, you're gonna ruin it with sequels. So that's fine. I'm fine with it like that way. But the concept is very like there's other than just
only so much you can do with it.
Other than coming up with creative ways to kill people, there's nothing else you can do. It's the same movie every time.
Yeah.
And even honestly, like. having seen all the movies in such a short amount of time.
Span of time.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of the kills are different, but there's a lot of like the setup, the Rube Goldberg machine setup.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like water on electrical outlets. A lot of water spilling. A lot of wind. Wind is kind of the death showing up, you know.
Yeah.
It's that ooh. But it's a lot of wind knocking things over, making water spill on electrical sockets. That's like 90% of the kills. Is how it starts with that.
Sort of.
And I remember, like, I don't know which one I was watching. The fourth one, I guess. It's just like, really, water again?
Again.
There
are some unique ones as well.
Oh yeah, sure.
But then you have. There's a couple that repeats that aren't as unique, are still kind of unique. The being crushed by a sign, I feel, happens at least twice. Or I guess crushed by things happens a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You have the little kid or the teenager, whatever, gets crushed by the big window outside the dentist office in the second one.
Being crushed by that crane thing at the
third
fair.
one. Yeah, not goth guy, but cool guy, whatever, edgy guy. Yeah. In this one, he cuts half of him is crushed. I don't know. The guy in the elevator who is halfway into the elevator when it drops.
In the end of the paper company, the guy gets crushed by part of the plane.
Oh yeah, right.
There's a few of that's true.
I mean,
but it also, how many kind of different like accidents can you just like come up with that would make them unique?
True. I think
you know what? We'll put that into the Patreon episode.
Oh yeah. We're gonna
discuss a new unique.
Yeah, we're gonna rank them and we're gonna talk about all the deaths. I think the one that is truly unique out of all of these, because I think everyone other is impaled, crushed. And like
or sliced.
Cut, sliced. I think that's like everyone. Now a couple
basically
are burned or exploded, but you know.
Yeah.
But the one that is like wholly unique, and this might put it up, but it's not. No, because it's not that much fun. It's in the. It's in the fifth. It's the fifth one. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Especially fourth and fifth are just like whoa.
They're the same movie.
Yeah. It's
just one long movie.
The douchebag guy who gets his ass stuck in the pool suction thing.
Oh yeah.
And his guts are sucked out through his ass.
Yeah.
Which is
that one's unique.
Completely unique. And it also builds on an urban myth that like, oh, don't get too close, because you can get stuck and then your innards get sucked out through your ass. Which, can't really happen.
No.
But it actually did happen once. There is one documented case where a little girl, she was like 5 or something, got stuck. And I don't know if she already had some sort of undiagnosed, like she had weak, I don't know, muscles or something.
She was weak.
Yeah, but she had like part of her intestine, like a big part of her intestine, sucked out through her vagina.
Ow!
In a pool like that. She like swam down and sat on it and just... it's nasty.
Nasty.
She survived, though. I don't know if that's good or bad, but she survived.
That's
but now,
bad,
she has to have whatever it's called, stomipåse, thing, because her intestine...
The bag thingy on her leg.
The pee and poo bag, because her intestines doesn't work anymore. But she survived, at least. I know in the interview, she's happy. But I'm like,
sure.
Jesus Christ, I don't know if I would want to live through that.
Now, I'm assuming they've like changed the power of the suction or something to after that to make it less likely that something will happen again.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Either way.
It's America, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
It's always America somehow.
Well, a lot of people live there, so a lot of accidents are going to happen.
Sure.
Anyway, I think that's kind of it.
We've gone through the movie a little bit because how else are you supposed to talk about this movie?
Yeah.
These movies are, like you said, it's just kills, and we need to kind of recap the kills in order to make them make sense at all. And the only thing we don't really get finalized with this movie is the fact that we get told that JB, the child in the first premonition in this movie,
right,
is William Bloodworth.
Yeah, it's Tony Todd's character.
I'm not sure what the J stands for, if his name is William, but sure.
Didn't they say, like, William Joe or Jonathan?
Maybe they did.
William Bloodworth, they say. Yeah.
Maybe they did, yeah. He is obviously the last one to die. Or who needs to die in the bloodline shit.
Yeah.
We don't know if he dies in a horrific way. We just kind of get that one scene of him, and then he goes, I'm going to go live my life for the little bit I got left.
Yeah, but he also does mention that he has the same damn disease that Iris has. Because Iris has cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also, just to go back to the whole thing, like, are you immortal because you cheat death? Because, she's been able to cheat death, but he got me finally goddamn cancer, she says. It's like, because what did you expect? We're going to live forever?
Like, isn't cancer one of the, like, more...
Like,
common...
most people, if they get to a certain age, old...
You get some kind of cancer.
Your body can't, hold it back anymore, and you get cancer.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's the most common cause of death,
Yeah, it feels like it wouldn't fit into death's chaotic killing machine to just get cancer, really.
But that's the thing. If death is this, like, force of nature, that means he controls all death. So yes, he's the one who gives you cancer as well.
Sure.
He's the one that says, today is the day your heart stops beating because you're 96 years old.
But if he's also this force, why can't he just kill everyone at one time if they got skipped?
That's the problem with the premise.
I know.
Like death could just give them all heart attacks. Like
at once.
They step off the plane and they all have they all have heart attacks in the waiting hall. Like, done.
Movie over.
But then there's no movie, so that's the thing.
I know.
They have to explain it away by it's a movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to make it more interesting. But yeah, it does not make any sense at all.
Nah.
None of it does.
Nah.
You're gonna have to live with that.
I'm kind of I do live with it, and I'm kind of fine with it.
I am too.
It's fun to try and find a reason somehow and, like, overanalyze it a little bit. But eventually you just go, whatever.
When you're messing with forces of nature, there's not much you can do.
No.
Like this, you can't really explain it away. Unless they go, like, super far. I kind of want to see that they explain where the premonitions come from.
Yes,
and there's
I was about to say that.
There's like a god and devil thing going on or something, like the devil and death is kind of the same here or something.
Yeah.
That would be fun. It would be completely bonkers, but at least it would be something new.
Because they've done that a little bit now, kind of twice with these movies. They've had two origins. They had number, for fuck's sake,
5.
Paper Town.
5.
Being a prequel, it turns out in the end. And then this one being like, but we're a prequel
this
part
is
of it.
The earliest premonition, like we said, in the franchise so far.
Yeah. So I'm like, is there an earlier one?
Once again,
I guess you could keep going and doing it that way.
I mean, you could also just do it after, because it's not like they stopped it or something. Death would just keep killing people. Hey, guess what? Everyone dies.
Honestly, you know what would have been the best thing for this franchise? If they've never ever made any kind of connection between the movies.
But that doesn't matter.
No, but then you wouldn't have to speculate about anything of this. There wouldn't be like, I wonder where the first one was, because there wouldn't be in the first one.
But it doesn't matter. But they aren't connected, really. Other than now, there's a bloodline connection, but that's just if your family. The people, there are no connections between the people.
No, but it made us raise the question: were the people from the first, second, third, and fourth, and fifth movie connected to this bloodline somehow?
But then there would be a connection in who gets the premonition, I think. Not that, death put them in situations. I mean, death is setting everyone in situations to die.
Yeah.
That's not, like, there's no There's no like sneaky, scheme. It's a grand design. Everyone has to die.
Yeah.
Everyone is going to die.
Yes.
It would work if everyone from Final Destination 5 up until the end of Bloodline, if everyone who had premonitions were somehow related to people who survived the Skyview disaster that never happened.
Yeah.
That would have been fun, because then it's like, then the premonition spreads,
through survivors,
through people who cheated death.
Yeah,
but which you don't even have to explain more than that. That would just be a fun connection.
Yeah.
So that was a missed opportunity.
Yes.
To have them, because like they always do it in the other movies. Like, did you ever hear of Flight 180? Blah blah blah. They always mention that. That would have been awesome on the timelines. But and look here, more people in their bloodlines had premonitions, but they didn't make it.
Yeah,
that would have been because it works. There's not really a plot hole there. Because there's so many people, since there was hundreds of people who then had families, there was thousands of people involved in these bloodlines.
Sure,
so
yeah.
It wouldn't even be a stretch to see some of the other victims from the other movies on that timeline.
Which we don't get a close-up of, so we don't know.
Yeah. So that could be something they go into in the next one, if they make another one. And that's the thing I think we should talk about last. Do we want another one? Because this felt kind of like... Some people call it a reboot. I would say every Final Destination is a reboot, because everyone feels like they just want to recreate what the first one did. I would more call this like a revival sequel. Like, it's fun to have another one 15 years since the last one.
I would honestly just call it an ending, because it feels kind of final. Because they're with the fact that they chose to make the Skyview accident like the basis of, well, assumingly all of them, and JB being the last survivor. I feel like, it ends with him. And unless they make a movie of him, which they can't now.
But once again, death is going to keep killing people, so you could just make another movie.
Sure. But
like we said, there's no real connection between them. They never made that connection, so someone else could get a premonition 4 years from now or whatever.
Yeah, but then you're going to try and find a connection. That's what I don't like.
But you don't have... Because they didn't make a connection, you don't have to look for any connections. There are no connections. People just sometimes randomly get premonitions.
That's not how I see it.
So you think there is a connection between the people who get premonitions?
Yeah.
What is the connection?
I feel like they're part of they were survivors. They were kids from the Skyview.
But that is complete speculation. That's fan theory. That's never mentioned in any of the movies.
Sure, but because of the fact that they just made the whole thing about there being bloodlines, it feels like that's a thing. If they never made it that it has history like that and it keeps going for generations, that's what I meant when I said it would have been better if all of the movies felt even more separated by the fact that they didn't even mention each other. They don't have any kind of internal lore even within the movie like that.
But
because it opens up for opportunities to be connected in a different way.
So you mean that each movie should have been like in Final Destination 2, the first movie never happened? You mean that disconnected?
Yeah.
Sure, but I don't see a problem with them knowing that people have had similar premonitions before, because it was in the news. It's not like they know. There's no spirit that's giving them, so that they know. They know because they read about it in the news and saw it on the...
It was fine up until the fifth one when they were like, oh, but they were on the plane.
But that's just a fun... It's an Easter egg thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you're reading too much into it.
Possibly.
That it, to the point where it bothers you. I think it could be fun if they were all connected. That everyone...
Yeah.
Everyone... Because you could still do... Once again, because everyone is going to die at some point. So even when everyone on that timeline, everyone from each bloodline was killed, you still have billions of people left. There's hundreds of thousands of people being born every day. And they're all
Sure.
gonna die, so they could just have a premonition. Because we still don't know. Once again, the only connection is through death. There is no connection through premonitions. We don't know where the premonitions come from. So someone else could just have one.
Yes, but the fact that Bloodline paints it as if you could be related because Stephanie gets the same premonition that her grandma had.
Yeah.
It opens up the opportunity for them to be connected, and I don't like that part.
What's wrong with them being connected?
Because then it feels more concentrated and isolated. It doesn't feel like it could just be some other random person getting premonitions, and it just starts over in some other part of the world. It feels like it's something special about these people who are connected to this event. And that all the movies stem from this one specific happening in Skyview. But we can go on forever about this, which we don't have to.
We're getting into the Snow White thing here. I don't understand. I don't understand what your problem is. Well, hold on. I'm just no. We can go for a little while more. I have some laundry I have to get to, but that's. Anyway, I can. We
have time.
We have time. I just trying to understand.
I don't know how to phrase it differently.
No, you. So you think, but the only connection is that they all survived. That's the thing.
But no, that's not the only connection.
Yes, it is.
Because in Final Destination Bloodlines, they tell you that someone survived and saved a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And because of that event, hundreds of people now have to die in a certain order.
Yeah.
In gruesome ways.
Because they were never supposed to be born.
For death to catch up to them.
Yeah.
And the people within these bloodlines will have premonitions.
No one has said that.
But Stephanie had it.
Yeah, what?
So if one has it, others must have had it. There's never a one-off.
What? You don't know that?
That's dumb.
No, but that's the thing. That's why the movies don't actually work.
Because if that's the thing, they need to tell us why only Iris, why her blood was special. Why did she get the premonition? If that's the thing, because we know other people can get premonitions,
but they never.
So either they all get it because of that event, or they're all connected to Iris, for fuck's sake.
No, I think you're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. Why Stephanie got her grandmother's premonition as a nightmare is because they needed a new gimmick for the movie. Like there's not even an in-movie logic reason for it. It's just dumb. But at least it's something new. Because, every movie starts with, they die and they zoom in on the eye and then they wake up going, oh!
Yeah.
And this time when they did it, the person who died in the premonition is not the person having the premonition. I was like, whoa, something different. That's the only reason, Rebecca. You're overthinking it. There is no lore connection there. It's just something new to put in the movie. That's it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I think they should have stuck to the fucking regular ones then.
But then the movie literally has nothing new to offer.
New kills.
Yeah, but that's what kind of killed the franchise the last time.
The fact that then he couldn't get to everyone in time, so everyone who was born had to die as well.
Yeah, well, yeah,
that's new. And she didn't have to have the nightmare for that.
But then the movie would have to be about Iris as an old lady, and you don't want an old lady as your main character.
No, it could have just been Iris contacting her family going, well, unfortunately, everyone else before me has died now, so we're up. And FYI, this is the thing. And then Stephanie goes, and has to save everyone.
Yeah.
Because she's the only one who believes her.
But, yes, that makes more sense. I agree. But would that be as cool as seeing Iris die and then it's Stephanie who wakes up and you go, whoa, what? Because I literally went, what? When that happened. Because I was expecting it to be Iris waking up And it wasn't.
Yeah, I was confused by the fact that a Hispanic woman woke up after watching a white woman die, and then they were like,
I think she's
"Are we
Asian.
connected?" The actress, I don't think, is Asian though.
The
so
dad looked Asian, and then a white
the actress,
mom.
Caitlin Santa Juana,
yeah, sure.
doesn't look Asian enough to make me go,
Filipino?
"Oh, she's Asian." We didn't see her father first, so I just saw her, and my thought went, "Oh, Hispanic lady."
Doesn't matter.
Hispanic girl, white lady.
Doesn't matter. We kind of have to wrap it up now. That it is just a gimmick to make the audience go, "What?" That's it.
Yeah.
They didn't put more thought into it than that. The only connection between everyone else is they were supposed to die and
everyone
they didn't.
dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think they could have simplified it even more then.
Okay. So, by your logic, they can't make any more movies now because no one else is ever going to have a premonition because the last person who had a premonition died now.
Yeah.
Okay. However...
Unless
this is where your logic
JB
is
has
flawed.
children or something that we don't know of.
Exactly. That's one. Or you also didn't think that actually 2 people did survive because they used the trick to get away from death. Well, one, I suppose, but she was supposed to die and then the guy. The people in the second movie, they used the whole dying and then resuscitating trick to survive. That's why they don't die in the end. Instead, it's the kid who was supposed to die earlier in the movie but was saved.
But that just means that they're skipped.
Well, yeah, but she still has the premonition power. So maybe she can see someone else. She can see the premonition.
Maybe she loses the power when she died and come back.
This is all speculate. I hate. That's this fan theory bullshit. I hate it.
Which is why I don't like that they opened up for even an ounce of fan theory to be able to thought up.
Anyway,
should have kept it simple. Make no connections between anyone really. But
it's fun when there's connections. Because that's how you get. Yeah. That's how you get the ending of number 5. That's how you get the bloodline thing in this. It's fun. It's dumb fun. Don't overthink it. Go, "Oh, I like when they die," and eat more popcorn. That's it.
You can still do that without the fucking connections.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you can do anything then.
Yes. And
but it's more...
if they didn't have any connections, you could have made thousands of these movies. And if they don't mention each other, it could just be like, oh, it's just Final Destination going yeah, because your final destination is death. No matter what you do, your final destination is death.
But you can still do that.
Let's end it here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see... Okay. Yeah, whatever. We went on for a while now. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah.
I still think it's a good movie.
Yeah, I don't see why this was...
It's when we start talking about the shit that it starts annoying me. When I was watching it, it didn't annoy me. It's when we're discussing it and ideas pop in my head and it's just dumb. It just gets dumb.
I just don't see why... Just let it go. Just let it go.
I can't let it go.
I know.
And have the same problem sometimes.
Yeah, but at least I let it go.
I will after we're done recording this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, once again, if you're still here, we both recommend it. Even if you're not a fan, it's still a fun, gory horror movie. Yeah, none of these movies are scary. It's just, it's gross out movies more than horror movies.
There are moments in the first 2 that are a little bit tense, but that's about it.
I guess. But yeah, it's a fun time at the cinema. Yes. I would say. So thank you. Yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5, 6 out of 10.
Oh, I haven't ranked it yet. I don't.
But that's
probably somewhere on there.
It's slightly above mid, enough for you to actually enjoy it. So, but that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. If you're here on YouTube, like we said before, if you want to hear us rank all the kills and talk more about, we probably will continue that discussion.
No, we're not.
Check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene or become a member on YouTube. It's, I think, both on YouTube and here, it's $3 a month. I think it might even be cheaper
YouTube
on YouTube.
And here?
Oh, YouTube and wherever you're listening to it.
Patreon.
Yeah. And other than that, you get literally, that's only on Patreon though, you literally get hundreds of exclusive episodes, hundreds of hours of entertainment.
Yes.
So check it out, tell all your friends and family, and we'll be back next week with something we haven't chosen yet.
I haven't. We might have to do a specific one, but we'll see.
Yeah. I do know that you're going to have to do a little special review because you're going to watch Lilo and Stitch, the live-action remake with.
I'll make a little something.
Your
sisters-in-law, technically,
sort of sisters-in-law. Yeah, not quite yet, but almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Soon to be, I guess.
Anyway, yeah, I won't be watching it because I'm not that big of a fan of Lilo and Stitch, and I hate Disney, so I said no, thank you. Well, you didn't even ask, but I would have said no.
No, I know.
So yeah, join us for next week for that, and until then, have a good one.
Bye.
The Spoiler Cast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It's produced and hosted by Tobias Vedén. Co-host is Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. CK85, Christopher Bylén, Daniel Gaisu, Annika Vedén, Jacob, Mom and Mac, and Laura Kinney.